Good morning. Looks like we're ready to rock and roll here. Got YouTube on. Greg will be a few minutes late, but let's take a look at the markets, our hit list, gappers, interest list, same old. So yesterday, big old gap up following Wednesday's Fed announcement of 50 basis point cut. I don't know why it closed at the low. I mean, that was a big difference, but where our bias is buying pullbacks unless this gap gets destroyed. What does gap destroyed mean? Well, where should it hold? Minor support, 566. So that it needs to hold there, a little bit more, 565 areas where it should hold to keep that gap bullish. We have a breakout weekly, monthly, all time frames. So we're in new high territory. So now we're gapping down near yesterday's low. And we got triple witching here today. I think I read over 5 trillion. Its notional value is going to be unwound today, so that's going to cause some chop and a lot of movements and things as the delta hedgers. They got to unwind positions because, as you know, if you're long or short options, you have obligations on expiration date, depending on where they close. So that's what causes the adjusting. So I think today's just going to be a sloppy day trading environment. I'm building a watch list for longs. I actually posted a few longs here despite the market gap down because they should not trigger unless they're valid, and we'll go over them, of course, in a moment. All right, so that's spiders. We shorted some out of the money puts on Qs yesterday. I did some that expired today. I did some 479s, 477s myself. Those are going to be fine. And I'll just roll them, even if it gets down to 479 based on what I just said on the bias. So that still looks good. Diamonds, gap in the yesterday, it looks fine. I think today's going to be a consolidation day. Greg just had an appointment with his wife in the morning. Says he's on his way back. So that's all. And finally, IWM. Now, the textbook says, which is true, that these are more interest rate sensitive than the others. And why is that? I'll tell you why. Because of what's under the hood. I forget the current stat, but I think I read that like over 50% of the stocks in the Russell 2000 don't make money. And so particularly during sell-offs, COVID, et cetera, these things are on life support. So they had to do refinancing and get whatever loan they can to stay in business. So the point I'm getting to is they have much more interest rate exposure because of their variable loans than S&P 500 more stable companies who could refinance long-term debt at the low. Do y'all remember when interest rates were zero, so to speak, and just breaking out of that shelf? I give credit to the Apples and the Googles and any other smart company that is stable. They locked in like 30-year debt at those low levels. So, it's a little fundamental kind of story there. So anyway, I'm looking to buy IWM on a pullback, bullish weekly, monthly also. The problem is, this big run into the announcement. So buy the rumor, sell the news. All right, enough of that. We can look at sectors, but let me go through the regular stuff first. SMHs, we shorted out of the money puts, the 230s for next week. Same old, same old. It needs to hold, I'd say 236. 236, 237. I would want this to hold 236, or else starting like put them on probation and shouldn't be retracing that for them. All right, let's do earnings and then gappers. All right, so we, including me, we shorted the 265 puts on this as an earnings trade. These are earnings stocks right here. And so this is gapping against us. So what am I going to do at the open? Nothing. Watch it. I'm willing to take assignment as this gap fill down here. If it rallies, then maybe I make full profit if it expires over 265. But I always look at the cousins, right? So UPS gapping down right to major support. Well, right in the middle of it. Major support is always the pivot. But let's see what this can do. So my vanilla, and what vanilla means is, hey, that's my bias. If it happens, that's going to be my strategy based on the chart. I'll put UPS here bottom right, and then I'll be looking to sell 0 DTE, either naked puts or put spread. That's the bias. I have no idea how it's going to turn out, but I'll pretty much tell you by 9 a.m. if it's setting up or not. All right, Len, housing had a big old run with the interest rates starting to come down. It's going to help home buyers, obviously. 184. So it's a bearish gap. This is, Don, you like doing 0 DTEs with me. This will be a great 0 DTE all spread. If there's any juice up there, typically you just got to wait 5 minutes because the spreads are going to be ludicrous. Milken, I actually did a condor on this one myself, but I did not give it to subscribers. I did the 25 put spread and the 30 call spread. So I just put a bid out there. I sold it for like 85 cents. So, all right, a quick little quiz. I sold this condor for 85 cents. What is my break even on the downside? Quick, just type out your answer. I'll give you 8 seconds. 8 seconds is all you get. No. Keep trying. Here, let's do it slowly. Well, correct, but I'm not sure where you're getting the 17, but correct. Let me just type it out. If I am assigned stock, then I have to buy at 25, correct? Correct. But I took in 85 premium, so my cost basis is 24.15. Cost basis is identical to break even at 4 p.m. expiration. So even though it's gapping way the heck against me here, I should still have an open profit. And so I'll tell you at the open, I mean, but for the stupid spread. So I'll tell you at 9:35, because I like watching these things. I obviously wanted to bounce. If it keeps tanking, then no telling what it's going to be. And I just had an alarm on WGS go off. This was a beautiful little bull. This is multiple patterns. This pattern, also just for fun. Let's type out what all these patterns were. Wide range breakout. 1, 2, 3, 4. buy setup, bull flag. Look at that. It's 4 setups. But we entered over the red bars high. And now my up alarm's going off. So that's a good thing. Let me set it higher. LRCX. Alarm went off. We sold a third at the high. Let me hold on, Ron. Look, hold on. LRCX. I sent this to Telegram earlier, but I didn't give it to you all yet. So we are long stock LRCX. We sold a third at the high yesterday with a break even stop. It's gapping under the break even a little bit, so just use 5-minute low to preserve the gains. Did the topping tail concern me? Well, remember, we entered before the topping tail, correct, Ron? We entered over the high of the red bar. So we had a monster open gain yesterday, and then it sold off a little bit. All right, back to earnings here. Chewy. What pattern am I looking for on the daily? This is a 2-part test. What pattern am I looking for on the daily to get long? And second question, are all time frames in bullish alignment, daily, weekly, monthly? You know, see what Greg's not here. I give you all quizzes in the morning. All right. Yes, Ron, but a more accurate answer is a buy setup. So we will hopefully get 1 or 2 more retracement bars, fluid bars lower. And then Monday or Tuesday, we buy over a prior day's high. Got it? Got it. Is weekly and monthly in bullish alignment? You better believe it. This is a bear sandwich breakout, kind of an inverse head and shoulder, wide range igniting, bull 1, 2, 3. So notice, Ron, we're on the daily chart buy setup, we are trying to buy near the low of this weekly inside bar. See, so that's a great visualization of multiple time frames. And you could do the same analysis of looking at a daily bar and going down to a 15 or 5-minute time frame. All right, so that's Chewy. Wait, why is Chewy earnings? Why is it in my earnings list here? No, it's not. Okay, never mind. I'm done with earnings. Here's why. Because I just lumped together other news things that I want to look at with right after earnings. So I think they said they're issuing more debt, which is the cause of the gap down today. So look, it's gapping down to 30. So what would be our entry now? Because it is not going to be a buy setup anymore with the gap down. What is it going to be? You're like, man, with the quizzes today. Correct. But give me a vanilla answer. just, like I said, vanilla is, if it happens, then, you know, so yes, I'm guessing 30-minute high. No, that'll be too late because then there'll be resistance if it fills the gap. So maybe, like you said, wait and see. Maybe a double bottom, maybe 30-minute high. But remember, retracement again is gap in a 30. If it keeps selling off here all the way to the 20 MA, let's just say, I don't know if I want it anymore for a swing. But you're right. We'll wait and see. All right, Nike got a new CEO, I think. That's a big old gap. Now, even though that's an igniting gap, only because it's Friday, I would consider a 0 DTE call spread under 30-minute low. Why? Because if profit taking is going to come in and it can't, and it takes out a 30-minute low, and with the news, the calls should be jacked. And I'll see what they are. Let's see what the pattern is. And then I'll tell you when I see it. SBGI had some type of news. This is a pattern that could be a red bar ignored continuation, target 1550, but not sure the reward or risks. I can delete you. Ango I posted. Half lot over yesterday's high I like. This is a monster bull rectangle. Here's my flag pole. You got flat 20, rising 50. Now, if I were, do you remember when we do MT lies on moving average analysis? If I were to take off the candlesticks and I show you these moving averages, can't you visualize somewhat what's going on under the hood, even without the candles? Try to picture that in your head. Look at all these moving averages pointing down. See this? Then all of a sudden, the 20 MA is ripping up. That's telling me this thing just exploded. And now I got a 45-degree angle on the 50 and a flat 20. It's telling me I'm visualizing exactly this pattern. I mean, plus or minus. Do y'all follow that? The stupid scrolling button is driving me bananas. I know Greg emailed him again yesterday. And I hope they fired the engineer, whoever screwed that up. Yeah, Daku, we talked about a lot yesterday. Daily, weekly, monthly being in alignment also, but I don't have an entry yet. This would be a fantastic naked put at 55, but I think I looked yesterday because it's just, it broke out. It's a 180 breakout. It's a sloppy buy setup weekly. It's a bottoming pattern monthly. It broke out a gap breakout. So, but I think it's going to slosh around for a while. But I would love to short $55 puts. In fact, I'm going to look right now. Daku next week. Yeah, I looked yesterday and it's 12 by 18. So I got no interest in that. All right, let's look at some fangs. Tesla, we bought yesterday. We had two separate put spreads on this. We closed them out. At near the high at beautiful profits. I'm looking to put on another one for next week. We bought the stock yesterday over Wednesday's high. And then just right when I got back from my bicycle ride, right at the high, that's right here when it was starting to roll a little bit. We shorted the 250 calls that expire today for $1.10. And that lowers your cost basis. And I will be looking to roll those calls before expiration to the 260s for next week. So that's looking great. Amazon, my up alarm went off this morning. This is a 0 DTE put spread idea. Yeah, there's probably not going to be a good strike. Let me look. Yeah, they only have strikes every $2.50. And the 187.50s are only 32 cents. So shoot, that's not going to work. Meta has a nice 15. Wow, that thing exploded. Alex, I know you did that. Nice job. Yeah, look at that gap breakout to all-time highs, daily, weekly, monthly. Wow. What, I give old Zuck and Company a friggin' plus for what's wrong, Don? You can come back later. You don't like it? Kidding. Oh, there's Greg, right? Um, all right, so what was I saying? That Zuck and Company, a friggin' plus, what he's done to this company. Man, in 22, this thing was $100. Alex, do you remember? You and I said 4 long at $90. When it broke down here and it was at 100, we said, nope, let it go down another 10. Alex, you and I totally missed the boat on a core long there at $90. I'm not saying I'd still be in it, but wow. Wow. That was an amazing run. We nailed the entry. We just unfortunately didn't profit from it the way we should have. All right, I got through alarms. I got through fangs of interest. Old Apple Cook is at the new store in New York City today, taking photos I saw. Let's just continue up now. All right, CPay I posted. Remember yesterday I said the alarm went off and I unfortunately didn't follow up on it. But that that could have bought a 15-minute high or whatever. But it still looks good. Ango I talked about. Let's just go up here. UPS, HCA needs to go sideways more. Daku. Yeah, Daku we talked about already. Mindy gap breakout. This is a long watch. I'd like it to go some chop around sideways a little bit more, but daily, weekly, monthly are in bullish alignment. Dunking. Here's the other one. Dunking over the high I like, courtesy of Sam I Am. Intel. This thing is just the dog of the Dow. Are they even in the Dow? They're still in the Dow, right? They didn't get kicked out yet. I would kick their butts out of here. They're the dog of the semis. But I got an alarm here at 2140. PDD bottoming pattern. Let me set an alarm at 101. That could be a continuation, little red bar ignored. Also a put spread idea, but I won't worry about it for now. All right, Delta 20, asking about is Dunking ready for another leg up? Yes, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, we posted it long. over these highs, over the week's high. Dunking has a big old void. It's a big old inverse head and shoulder. And yet another example, if I took those candlesticks off, I can tell you that it was a big old multi-week correction within a longer term uptrend, right? Isn't that what those MAs tell me? So now we trade candles though. Oh yeah, Greg is posted the. I know we like looking at. Well, look at spider levels for 0 DT years. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Yesterday's high under a 5-minute low. And then for the put side, it's what I said. If we continue maybe to sell off within the 10 or 10:30 reversal periods, get a reversal on minor support, then I'll be looking to do the put side. Amazon, we talked about LRCX, talked about BABA, nice gap breakout. This is on my core long list. So Alex, you just heard me whine about Meta. What do you think of this one? Trade sloppy. It's an ADR and it's China. You got built-in risk with China. But look at these moving averages. I mean, it's hard to get on board though. Look at this. Bear Island gap that is repaired. You would have to give it a stop under the week's low. But it's all in alignment, daily, weekly, monthly. All right, Boeing is our only short. We have a bear put debit spread that looks great. And well, actually, we have a bear call credit spread on Charlie India. And that's also looking great. Relative weakness to the market. FI, closing breakout. Alex bought that yesterday. It looked good. Over those topping tails. WDC is another one I posted. And the reason I had no problem posting it, even with the market cap down, is because this is a pattern that's not going to trigger unless it wants to trigger. Then it'll be a red bar ignored. Breakout. All its converging MAs with a void. You got a 180 breakout on the weekly. And it's gapping down, which is going to make it harder to trigger. Another YouTuber here, thoughts on coin, lower time frames show higher lows, but zooming out looks forming of the bear flag. It's not a great bear flag. It's more of a short-term bottoming action, but you're right. It's a consolidation and a downtrend. And it's kind of a bear 1, 2, 3, 4 on the weekly. It broke out. It's a sloppy pattern, but it's showing signs of trying to bottom, particularly with Bitcoin strength recently, with risk on again. So for me, there's no compelling pattern to go long, but it's a possible put spread under Wednesday's low, maybe 30-minute high, or maybe over 174. You can set an alarm. My goal alarm went off this morning. Greg, we gave our first on the spreadsheet. I have 243.50 is our first 1/3 target, and that's pretty arbitrary, but it just we're still got $2 away. All right, continuing here. Oh, I didn't hear the bell, but it's 9:31, so market's open. IWM sinking the most here, but sinking the most, is relative. It's a breakdown on the 15-minute chart. It is, but I ain't trading the 15-minute chart. I'm not trading any chart right now, but we are wanting and expecting a buy setup. So nothing to do right now except wait. GoDaddy up alarm. Very nice. Move stop days low now. About 115. How about under 159? We have a half lot left. Yeah, I never entered hubs. I was waiting for a 1, 2, 3 of some sort. Let me look at it. Yeah, I got the name reserved. Yeah. So we just need to now
Delta 20 just mentioned LI. Looks
funding so
good.
we can
Breaking out.
open up the public corporation. Wow. Blasted. I missed this yesterday. I was hoping for a 1, 2, 3 and it blasted.
Without a driver. And what was it, the two cities in Austin and
All right, so I missed it.
You would do something. You would do something.
All right, so the Q's little rally got rejected. It's a gap down on the 15 with air below.
Because they're really white, they treat me like a human, and Waymo treated me.
So
A human again. The only thing you can treat like a human is artificial intelligence bots. They treat you with respect, David. The way it was when we were growing up. Yeah.
So I'm
So we're very
Mike.
But don't worry, you're
Can't hear me, Dan.
What are you asking?
We can. What would that say?
Oh, I don't understand it.
My TV is loud.
What are you all talking about? Greg, are you talking? Can I hear your TV? Do I have you muted?
You can't hear nothing because you have me muted.
I don't. All right. Why am I not hearing Greg?
You can't hear nothing because you have me muted.
Okay, right. That's what. No, I do now. Right. Why am I not hearing Greg? You can't hear nothing because you have me muted. Okay, right. No, I do now. Why am I not hearing Greg?
Dan has YouTube live. Coming back and even shut off the volume.
All right. All right, let's see if that's any better. I muted the little bell. All right. Charlie India alarm. Nice. GS, nice, nice. This daily, weekly, monthly, we're in this thing. Looks great. Was this a Sam I am trade? I forget. We're in at 38.80, so we have a $3.50 open gain as of now. All right, Daku. Yeah, Daku's looking better. LUB. Yeah, over yesterday. Yeah, buy setup. Bullish weekly, monthly. Yeah, there's some hedge fund guy trying to oust some board members. Yeah, gold looks good. All right, Chewy. Yeah, I get it's gapping in no man's land, so I don't have a bias. Nike doing nothing. PDD alarm. Yeah, look at that spike to 101 and got slammed, so I'll just reset it. Boeing went down, snapped right back. Boeing's going to be in the news, with this strike. That's why we used options. But reset it. I was hoping it would come down a little more and give us a buy setup to put on that put spread. 0 DTE.
5 minute sell setup on Qs here. And looks like it's going to break the open. It's worth a shot for a day trade for sure. Gap down under an end of day base. Don't worry about YouTube, Dan. I'll handle it. Just close it on your computer. Because when I came in, it switched to me.
Hey, Brent. Tesla. Excellent question. I say we can do it now. So let me do the math for us. Thank you for asking. Let's roll them to the 265s actually. All right, there you go. Thanks for the heads up. All right, that's FedEx. I got distracted with YouTube thing. All right, this looks horrible. That's it. Look at the weekly bar, which doesn't show the gap. That is ugly reversal bar.
Spiders breaking the low of the day. IWM on the way.
UPS, nah, there's no pattern there I like yet. Len, I mentioned call spread. I doubt there's any premium. 190s for today. 10 cents is all. Forget that. Yeah, I just don't have a bias right here, Don. I don't have a bias. We gotta look how narrow this is. It's a gap down. There's a void below. I would say my bias is still lower. A gap under support with a void. You gotta have a bearish bias. But I don't have a bias enough to do anything right now for 0 DTE. I can lift, low alarm, but no problem.
Just go
The
by
Greg,
behind.
did you get your text? I don't know how to shut it down.
Shut what down, Dan? I think you still got me muted.
Why?
It's too much. I've typed to him, but he doesn't.
I can. Okay, now yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, what?
Now you should be able to hear me.
I do, but
You
I
had
can't.
me. You had me muted.
I know because of all the berserk echoing going on.
All right. Don't get upset.
I am, but sorry, go.
Well, Dan, just so you know, when you opened up the room, you were the whatever. They give you the controls. I don't know why they do it this way. When
Yeah.
I logged in, they switched it back to me. That's why you couldn't close down YouTube. So I typed to you, I'll handle it. Just close your browser.
Oh, well, you didn't say close browser. You said
I
close.
did. If you read your text messages.
All right, done. For all the alarms. Old Dasher. I remember when Alex mentioned it to me on Wednesday, I said absolutely yes over the high. It's still, despite it being far from the 20, that incredibly bullish 15-minute chart says higher. That's very bullish. Yep, sure is. That's a bullish 15 also. Apple, they're getting all wow. Wow, I kind of missed this yesterday. This thing gating the gap. They're giddy about the new store, I guess, and the products. Microsoft, nothing. Amazon, there was no premium, but I wouldn't do it now anyway. Chewy, no pattern. Yeah, the gap messed it up really. And yesterday's day is not a fluid down day. It was kind of a bearish inside day. Hi, Irfan. Uh, it depends, Irfan, why you, well, I don't mind taking assignments, so I'm doing nothing on FedEx. I'm just gonna put it in my dad's account and he's gonna be the lucky owner of 100 shares. I'm just gonna write covered calls against it, try to dig out of the hole over time. If if you don't want to take assignment and you want to take your loss, I'd say use the vanilla rule, 30-minute low. That's, it's a big old gap, but um, it's on minor support. I don't know if it takes out a 30-minute low. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't. So you
Gonna
just
go
got,
lower.
right. But I'm saying how much lower into this? I have no
Well,
friggin' idea.
so think about it. Like I look at the chart and I say, where would I want to buy this or think I might want to buy it? And for me, that would be like 250. It's like, middle whole number. It's, if I look to the left, it's in the middle of a whole bunch of congestion there.
Okay, so help Irfan with a different question.
That would be down like 20% from yesterday's high.
So he's has a short put. If he doesn't want it, what do we objectively tell him? And my answer was 30-minute low. Because I don't know what else to say.
I agree. Right. Because if you don't want it,
Right.
of course, you don't want to take the loss and you can't have your cake and eat it too, kind of thing. And, you know, will it hold that support? I think so. Because if I look further to the left, going back a couple of years, you know, I mean, 250 to 240 is like a huge support, but that's a lot further down.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know where it's going to stop. I mean, that's a giant gap. So, I mean, part of my thinking would be, look, as a day trader, if this thing could get back above the open, I'd be thinking of buying it for a day trade, but that has nothing to do with, what was the put strike that you sold?
265.
Okay, so to me, that's reasonable or feasible to think it could get back there today. But right now, it's just stabilizing right now on the 5-minute chart. And, I'd have to see a wide range bar, a little downside shakeout, or at least get back above the open, which is about 260. I'll put my charts up, you know. Look, if you want to hang there at this point, you know where you're at. And we can continue to review it. But look, if it goes sideways here, right, it's got another 5 minutes for a 30-minute low. It may keep dropping. You just don't know. So at some point it's like, end the pain and don't, kick yourself if it turns around, or, put it under 255. You gotta put your line in the sand somewhere.
Right. I I agree. It's a line in the sand if you don't know. And would I be looking at this as a new zero DTE put spread? Absolutely not. There's zero pattern. Yeah, so on this stupid milk end, the saving grace is we only did $2.50 wide. So that one's a flesh wound. It's not a biggie to me.
If you sell a lower strike for next week, Dan has to answer that about rolling because I don't know. Does it make sense to roll it, Dan?
No, when they're deep in the money, you'll just you'll dig a deeper hole.
Right, that's what I thought you said in the past. That's why I wasn't sure. It seems, kind of the logic seems to make sense, but when you look at the values and understand what Dan just said, you find what he said, you'll dig a deeper hole.
And but so Greg, do you and everybody else understand what digging a deeper hole means?
Well, on the surface, it means your loss is going to get bigger, but please explain.
Hey, Irfan, just so you know, I on that stupid milking, I closed mine at 1.7. I did a 2 lot and I took in 85 credit. So that means I lost 85 cents. So risk one to make one. So I just killed the put spread and be done with it. Yeah, what it means is when we roll, you want to continue to bring in credits to improve your cost basis. So when something is deep in the money like this, you cannot roll for a credit. You actually have to roll for a debit, increasing your cost basis. So it's like, just get out of it. It's not helping you with anything. You're making your position worse. You're buying time, but you're making it worse. So you're better off taking an assignment and selling a call against it.
So Dan, so I understand and other people understand. Say I sell or roll it or whatever, and I'm
Right, I'll do it.
if it then goes up, well, I mean, which is the question, like, okay, it's down. If it keeps going down, I guess you're just screwed. But what if it just turned around? I mean, so there's that, is there that it's not an intelligent thing to do by what you're explaining, but if we were to do something stupid and then it went up, would we save ourselves?
Yes, because it's a delta of close to 1, and so you're recouping your loss, dollar for dollar. So yes, you're buying time, you're paying a debit, which I would only do if it was a bullish pattern.
I get it. So somebody thinking that, hey, it's almost like I got this loser here, and if I double down on it and it goes up, I'm going to break even or even make money. But if it goes the other way, I might wipe out my account. So you're doing something that you're looking to save your ass, but you may lose your ass.
But you know what? I was actually wrong in this case. As of right now, it's showing a credit of 70 cents if you were to roll. Now it's 52, so it's bouncing around because of the spreads. So I was wrong, rushing to conclusions, saying it would be a debit. If it were further, if the stock were trading at 245, then it probably would be. But so the only disadvantage of rolling it this second, as opposed to next week, I'm sorry, as opposed to later in the day, closer to the market close, is that if for some reason it starts to rally, we're limiting our loss, dollar for dollar almost, because it's so deep in the money. Whereas if we roll it now for the 75 cents and it rallies, you ain't going to make the dollar for dollar because you're stuck with a put now for next week. Right? Does that make sense? So the deltas are going to act totally different on one that expires today versus next Friday. So that's the disadvantage of rolling this second. But you make the decision based on the type of trade it is to you and your bullish bearish bias at the moment. And right now, as we talked about, It's trying to stabilize here at 10 a.m. So the daily bar is horrible. There's, no way of calling that pig anything else. But I don't have enough information to take action on it yet. Let's see, tan here. Wow, that's a crazy reversal. Greg, your slide, how you talk about 1, 2, 3 bar reversals. This is a beautiful 4 bar reversal. Look at this. That is a 4 bar reversal. A crazy one. Chewy just gunned for the low. Our Boeing slow and steady down. UPS still heading down. Fangs little weak to neutral. Cisco is a 15-minute 1, 2, 3.